Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody sent me this file and wanted to know how they did that, or maybe they did that, and he was just showing me an example, and I thought I'd show everybody how to do that. So I drew one. It's a little bit different, but it's pretty close. If we look at it side by side, it's a little different. I like his better, but if we, in the one I sent me the file, I changed your nudge distance to 0, 0. And really, you only need to draw, let me just draw it. I just took a square, and it's not rotated, and then I rotated the other one 22.5 degrees. I took my 3-point line, and I'm going to go from that corner to that corner, and then I'm going to give it a pretty good swoop. Now, I only need one of them, or I need two of them, so I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, and I'm going to move the center rotation of the center. It's not there. We'll check it again, and let me bring in some indexing lines, make it a little easier to find. There we go. And I'm going to rotate this to a negative 90 degrees, so I get that shape. Now I'm going to make kind of an elongated box. I'm going to take a rectangle. He's got his set on a fill when he draws an item, which I can't stand, but that's beside the point. Convert it to a curve, go down to the bottom, and just kind of move your nodes in. And if I was doing it for real, I'd probably put a node in the middle and do that, and do it from the middle. But then I'm going to take this corner right here with the 4-point cross, and I'm going to put it right there in that corner. Now I need to angle it over a little bit, so I'm going to double click on my rotation. I'm going to put my rotation up there, and I'm going to rotate this guy to pretty close to that corner. Now I'm going to take that box, I'm going to Control D, and I'm going to duplicate, but I'm going to change my rotation to the node down there. I'm at 1459 degrees, but I'm going to plus 5 degrees. And then I'm going to Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. And I can see that I'm not tall enough. I'm not past my mark there. So I actually need to probably take my line and extend it up. And then I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. I'm going to move the center rotation of that node, and I'm going to rotate it plus 5 degrees. Control D, Control D. We want that, everything in that curve. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to nudge my box over with the right arrow key. I'm going to nudge that line over. I'm going to nudge that line over. I'm going to nudge that square over. So I'm going to take all these now, and I'm going to go to Object, Group, and group them together. I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool and fill that shape in. I'm going to nudge it right back, and because the other lines are a group, this is going to work with the Intersect tool. So now I have, let me nudge it down. We have that shape. We can delete all, well, I'm never hardly delete anything. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to Control D to group it together. Let me back up. Select it all and Control G, and then I'm going to Control D. I'm going to change my center rotation to the center. Doesn't look like it is, but it is. Now I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Control D, Control D. Now I can actually bring my box back in, and I am going to select everything, and I'm going to right-click Fill. So I even got a different look than the one he had. That still looked pretty cool, but what you could also do is you could take your box, might be a little hard to grab, and rotate it like 45 degrees and take it all now, and we might have to make it smaller. That looks pretty cool, so you could keep playing around with it. We could make that box, smaller and hit P, put it in the center of the page. That's one of the reasons I like drawing in the center of the page. Now, one other thing we could do, because these are kind of open, we could take our Smart Fill tool and fill it in with let's go with a blue, and look at that. I got a little leak right there somehow. Probably something not touching, didn't rotate perfect. It's actually that box right there. So what we can do is, let's go ahead and ungroup everything. Go to Object, Group, and Ungroup. I can't really remember what box it is. Let's fill it in one more time. So it's that box right there. I'm going to back up. I'm going to take that box. I'm going to ungroup it, or break the curve apart, basically. I'm going to left click. Don't have to right click, there's already an outline there. Somewhere in here, there's a node that is, let's try this. Let's try filling it in with black. Sometimes you can reverse. There we go. Now the blue should work, hopefully. Nope. You know what, I think I'd tell you what, let's do. Another thing you can always do is nudge that out of the way. Go ahead and get rid of our lines. Fill this in with blue. And because that other item is here, we can put it there, go up to Object, Order, Front of Page, and now it looks better. You can always manipulate stuff. I don't, particularly this doesn't really do it like his original. But that's the only, well, I guess this is his. It looks a lot better. Maybe somebody else will chime in on what I'm doing wrong, but that's still a pretty cool design. I hope that helped. Thank you for watching.